Americans throughout the South. Yet as racists spread Jim Crow's poison, waves of black migrants decided to leave the South in search of equal rights, personal safety, and economic opportunity. The Homestead Act, which President Abraham Lincoln had signed into law in 1862, granted settlers, including free black people, the ability to claim 160 acres of government land. As Reconstruction eroded, thousands of African Americans, dubbed exodusters, moved westward, particularly to Kansas, hoping to claim land. This first migration of black people out of the Deep South was called the Great Exodus of 1879.
Most black Southerners, as Christians, felt that they were being delivered into a promised land.
The end of the 19th century saw Jim Crow laws codify racial segregation, racist aggression against black people intensify, and lynchings increase throughout the South. Starting in the 1890s, some Southern African Americans began moving north. Migration dramatically increased during World War I as immigration from Europe declined and factories in the North started recruiting black workers.
Thousands of African Americans left their Southern homes to move to places like Chicago, Detroit, Harlem, Los Angeles. This was known as the Great Migration. This would transform the places where they moved.
As employment opportunities increased, so too did demand for housing. Segregated neighborhoods ratcheted up the competition for space between black and white residents. The result was black urban population hubs, influential political and cultural concentrations in cities such as Chicago and Detroit, Washington and New York. The Harlem Renaissance was the most famous black cultural movement resulting from the Great Migration. World War II spurred even more migration as black civilians left the South for industrial jobs created by the demands of war, filling vacancies created by men being drafted.
The second Great Migration was more sustained. This generation moved into cities that already had black communities that had been established by the first Great Migration. They would transform America's popular culture. Politics to sports were influenced by that second Great Migration, including something like the birth of Motown, which is the direct result of the second Great Migration.
The North's victory during the Civil War, unfortunately, didn't lead to full civic or social equality for African Americans in the South. But gaining American citizenship provided the formerly enslaved people with the freedom to move, and they exercised that freedom to move in search of a better life.
Start your day with Mornings with Vernon on WBQP, Monday through Friday from 6:30 to 9 a.m. Watch on Channel 12 and listen on WBQP Radio on your phone, Alexa, or CarPlay. WBQP is your information station.
It's time for Mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For Mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it now.
Start your day with Mornings with Vernon on WBQP, Monday through Friday from 6:30 to 9 a.m. Watch on Channel 12 and listen on WBQP Radio on your phone, Alexa, or CarPlay. WBQP is your information station.
It's time for Mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now.
Testing 1, 2, testing 1, 2.
Mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it now.
Start your day with Mornings with Vernon on WBQP, Monday through Friday
All right,
from
Pensacola.
6:30 to
Good
9
morning.
a.m. Watch on Channel 12 and listen on WBQP Radio on your phone, Alexa, or CarPlay. WBQP is your information station.
All right, Pensacola, good morning. Friday the 13th, y'all. Good morning, whatever that means. Yes, sir. Good morning. We got a good show on Friday the 13th. Weather's cooperating today. All right, y'all. Let's get into what we're going to have an overview of the show of Vernon this morning. Yeah, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I tell you, y'all, some people are superstitious. You know, some people are wildly superstitious about Friday the 13th. But hey, what can I say? Well, we're not superstitious here, right? We're going to be going to show you that burning in the morning ain't superstitious. But anyway, y'all, good morning. Did you get your cup of coffee this morning? At mine? Good coffee, good coffee. You know, I like, this is my coffee. I like it hot. Hot, sweet. You like, I like when women are hot and sweet and creamy. All right, y'all, good morning. All right, yeah, hey, let's talk about what we're going to talk about this morning, if you will. We're going to have several guests this morning. We're going to get a couple of guests this morning we're going to talk about. First thing we're going to do this morning, we're going to go over some of the news headlines this morning, some of what's going over on the national scene and the local scene and that kind of stuff. Then when we come back from that, we're going to talk about some community news, what's going on. See, that means you need to get your calendar out so you can mark these events down. We're going to give you a little bit of the weekend, so we can know what's going on, what to expect over the weekend for the weather. And of course, we're going to talk a little bit about Black history. You're going to have to learn it or repeat it, okay? And about 7:10 this morning, we're going to be talking to Minister Sylvia Tisdale of the Epps Christian Center. It's going to be followed up with Mr. Larry Williams. You're going to be talking about, he's a district ECU District 3, but he's going to be talking about the prayer breakfast that's going on. Going back to Miss Sylvia Tisdale, she's going to be talking about the Trailblazer Award that coming up. Then right around 8 o'clock time frame, we're going to be talking to our very special guest this morning, which is Mr. Mike Coulter. He's the county commissioner here in Escambia County District 2. We will be talking to. And around 8:30 time frame, yeah, we're going to be talking to Sheriff Chip Simmons, if he's available, and which he usually is. If he's not available, we'll be talking to Chief Deputy Lottie. So, but anyway, that's what we got going on for you today here on Vernon this morning. The other thing is I want you to do is just make sure that you tell everybody that we're on this morning, how to get it. You can go and just rdo.to/WBQP or just download the app any and everywhere. Okay? You have us tune in every day, Monday through Friday, right here on the new WBQP radio and the WBQP TV. Yep, we sure will be. All righty, y'all. I know what you're thinking. It says time for commercial. Absolutely time for our commercial. But when we come back, we're gonna jump right into it, y'all. and talk about what's going on around your world. Stay tuned. So tell everybody that Vernon is on this morning.
It's time for Mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For Mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it out.
These new Times the Cash scratch-offs have a fun multiplier feature. They're fun, you're fun, we're fun.
Agree to agree. Times the Cash scratch-offs from the Florida Lottery. It's good fun. Looking for a moment of faith, hope, and connection? Join us for Prayer Perspectives by J.O. Gatson, live on WBQP TV and WBQP Radio. Every first Wednesday of the month from 9 to 10 p.m. Call in, share your prayer request, and receive prayer in real time. Mark your calendar starting February 4th. Prayer, Perspective, Power. Only on WBQP TV and WBQP Radio.
Viola's Menswear, 2727 West Cervantes Street, Pensacola, Florida. Gentlemen, fine clothing at an affordable price. Suits starting at $139. Dress, shoes, hats, and accessories. Here at Viola's Menswear, 2727 West Cervantes Street in Pensacola, Florida. Call today at 429-7146, 2727 West Cervantes Street in Pensacola, Florida.
Navigating heart care can be challenging. Baptist makes it better with the latest treatments and innovations and the area's largest, most experienced heart team ready to create a care plan just for you. All when you need us most. Let Baptist make it better. Baptist Healthcare.
Some mobile companies make it hard to get a good deal. But at Cox Mobile, we know there's a better way to save. A smarter way. That's why we run on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability without breaking the bank. You'll pay as low as $30 per line. It's a win-win. Cox Mobile, the smart way to mobile.
Hi, I'm Bubba Peters with the Escambia County Property Appraiser, reminding you that March is the deadline to file for your homestead exemption, which reduces your property tax. You can file on our website or visit our office. You will need a valid Florida ID and Social Security numbers for each owner. Owners with disability and seniors over 65 may qualify for additional exemptions. Our friendly staff will be happy to assist you with filing for any additional exemptions that you may qualify for. If you have any questions, please call us at 434-2735 or visit our website at escpa.org.
Got projects in mind? A Pen Air home equity line gives you access to funds without the fees. Pen Air Credit Union. Join us.
I remember these. Will I have the money to send my kid to college? Well, that's specific. How long has that been there? 7-letter word for a bank that helps you reach your goals.
Synovus. Order for Synovus?
Thank you.
Are you Synovus?
Yes.
Are you gonna ask or should I?
A solid financial future doesn't happen by chance. Let's talk about your potential today.
Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home has been in business since 1913. Hi, I'm David Hawkins, the owner of Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, saying we are a full-service funeral home. We offer pre-need funeral planning. We have a newly remodeled chapel and conference facility. Stop by and see us today. We have 9 vehicles, all waiting to service you. At Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, we appreciate your stopping by. On behalf of all of our family here at Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, thank you so much for allowing our family to serve you.
Larry Williams, your ECUA board member for District 3, presents the 4th Annual Community Prayer Breakfast, Saturday, February 21st, from 9 a.m. until 12 noon. This year's theme, The Church Prayed, Acts 12 and 5. On Saturday, February 21st, a delicious breakfast will be served. Our MC will be Anita Cromartie. Music by the Spiritual Persuaders. A cute comedy skit by Shatara's Girl. Several visionary voices will speak. Our keynote speaker will be Pastor Darian Horton of North Carolina. Community Service Leadership Lifetime and Legacy Award recipients will be announced Saturday, February 21st, 2026, 9 a.m. until 12 noon at the Pensacola Improv, 375 North Pace Boulevard. Donations are $20 in advance and $25 at the door. Youth 12 and under accompanied by an adult are free. Get your tickets now at the Original Kings Barbershop. Get your tickets, they are available right now. Sponsorship to support seniors and our youth are being solicited and will be recognized. For more info, contact Larry Williams at 850-292-7139.
This is Prayer Perspectives by J.O. Gatson on your WBQP.
Father God, right in the midst of our coming this morning, we come praying in confidence and trusted comfort while conceding our will to your will, because thou art the Almighty of the heavens and earth. It's by your grace and mercy we have come this morning, making good our living that you may be satisfied. In the name of Jesus, the Christ, we pray. Amen.
This is Prayer Perspectives by J.O. Gatson on your WBQP.
Hi, Vernon. We're wrapping up the week on a bright note. Friday brings a few passing clouds, but overall, we're looking at generally sunny skies with a high of 72 degrees. Tonight will cool down to 52. Now let's talk about Valentine's Day Saturday. Mostly cloudy conditions are expected with a daytime high of 69 degrees and a low of 61. There's just a 20% chance of rain, so most outdoor dinner plans should be just fine. Just keep an umbrella nearby just in case. Sunday turns a bit more active. We're holding steady with a high of 69 and a low of 55, but thunderstorms are expected. And looking ahead to Monday morning, the commute features mostly cloudy skies with highs reaching around 68 degrees. Not a washout, but a gray start to the work week. Enjoy the sunshine while you can and have a wonderful Valentine's weekend. This is Cheryl Mulrain with your weekend weather on WBQP TV.
It's time for Mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For Mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it out.
All right, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. Let me turn my mic down. Here, y'all. I just want to say good morning to everybody that's under the sound of my voice this morning. It's the weekend. And Robert Hill would always say the Gulf Coast and the weekend was made for each other. Yes, it is. Good morning, everybody. I just wanted to let you know today is Friday the 13th, y'all. Some people are really superstitious about the 13th. Why Friday the 13th? Some folks says that, well, it's unlucky. Friday the 13th is an unlucky number there. Okay, well, it is, and some people it is written in superstitions, I guess, about Friday the 13th. I don't know if you believe in that kind of stuff. If I got a philosophy in life. Nothing exists. This is my philosophy. Nothing exists unless you believe in it. If you believe in it, it's real. If you don't believe in it, it doesn't believe. It isn't real. Like, when I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. If you believe in ghosts, obviously they exist to you. But if you don't believe in it, then they do not exist. For an example, I don't believe in ghosts. Therefore, I never seen one. But people that do believe in them say they see them all the time. You look at, they got even ghost stories on TV stuff. Folks like who believe in UFOs. They believe in them and they see them. I don't believe in them and I never seen one. So my point is nothing exists. So if you believe Friday the 13th is unlucky. It might be a self-fulfilling prophecy. Yeah, it is going to be unlucky for you. But if you don't believe it, then it's just another day. You know, they are in the Western world. They don't put 13 floors into hotels and buildings. Think about that. I don't care. And they told me one time, they said, this floor do not have a 13th floor. And I went there and then I looked in the elevator. Sure enough, it went from 12 to 14. But when I got outside, I start counting. But when I counted the 13 floors of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. But when I got inside, just magic. Couldn't find the 13th floor when I got inside. But regardless of what they say, they still had 13 floors. They just didn't label it as 13. They just labeled the 13th floor at the 14th floor. But if you believe in that, and say, well, how did that all start? Well, some say it started even with the Last Supper. Y'all remember Judas? Judas was the 13th disciple there at the Last Supper. So, yeah, I guess that would be. I would guess that would be superstitious or would be bad luck if you thought that. But anyway, regardless of that, Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th, if that is what turns you on. But don't let that deter you. Don't let that deter you, y'all, from having a great day and a great weekend, y'all. I can tell you that right now. I wouldn't let it deter me at all. All right, y'all, let's get into some of the news, some of the headlines this morning. You know, we try to throw a little bit of headlines in here for you so that you can see what's going on in and around our community. Let's start off. You know, I want to start off with maybe some good news this morning. They announced last night the city council approved a new sheriff, Mr. Eric Winstrom. Okay, Mr. Eric Winstrom was approved by the city council as being the new chief of police. Well, I don't care what they say. At least they got it part right. Cause we had our last chief was named Eric, and apparently he did a great job. And Mr. Community said the other day that the crime rate, and also not only Mr. Community said that, but also who said that was the chief of the information officer for city of Pensacola confirmed. The information officer of city of Pensacola confirmed that crime rates. You know, this guy here, he's the Officer Mike Woods, confirmed the fact that crime rates dropped in Escambia County. Okay, crime rates dropped in Escambia County, but it dropped under the leadership of our last chief by the name of Eric. I think, yes. So, but anyway, y'all, we have a brand new chief of police. Okay, brand new chief of police that the city council confirmed last night. He will start on the job, as I understand it. He will start on the job in March. So Mayor D.C. Reed, and they went through quite a bit of process, okay, to select this sheriff, and he selected outside of Pensacola. This guy come from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Okay, so now I hope he gonna end up being a sheriff, like said a sheriff, but same thing, folks. So I hope he end up being an Andy Griffith type of sheriff, rather than a Andy Griffith type of police chief, instead of being a Bonnie. You know Bonnie and Andy. You know Bonnie Bonnie thinks he's in charge and all that kind of stuff. Sometimes these big city cops, don't always understand small towns and how we operate down here. But I think that it's going to be all right. Okay, I think it's going to be all righty. All right, let's talk about some other stuff in the Pensacola news before I get to out of town news. The work is continuing, y'all, continuing over at the Baptist Hospital. Like we said, you're not seeing any the demolition on the outside. But what they're doing now is they're removing all the asbestos and stuff inside right now. And it apparently they're doing a pretty good job because of containing the asbestos in there, because they saying it's not going to be a danger to any of the community spas in that asbestos is contained in, so it's not going to be an issue. Once they get all of that stuff out, y'all, then you're beginning to see the demolishment of the entire campus there, and they're hoping that they have it finished by next year. Okay, and hopefully you begin to see it gentrifying then. I shouldn't have said I don't know that, but that's what they say. Okay, that's what they say. All right, y'all, let's go on to the other news that's been in the news this week. Escambia County Christian School, and like I said before, I don't have a dog in that fight right now, but my children went to that school, so I am a little compassionate about it. This lady here is on a campaign of trying to make sure that the school, they get enough funding. And I think that's right. The alumni and the board and anybody that's showing an interest in education ought to help the school finish out the last quarter of the year. It's just unfortunate that they didn't have enough resources to finish out the entire year. So I'm hoping that we can push back the closure of the school until at least to the end of the school year. Okay, at least to the end of the school year. And this lady, she's an alumni of Pensacola Christian School, and so she's on a campaign to trying to help the school finish out the year. So maybe I think we should help her. Okay, my youngest daughter, that's the only school she knew from kindergarten all the way up through the 8th grade. She would go through the 8th grade, and so she went there her entire time. My son went there. My grandchildren went that school. So a little bit compassionate about that. All righty. Let's move on to some other things. You talked the other day about the parks and recreation in the city of Pensacola. The mayor said the other day, and also Cliff was on here, they talked about extending the hours of the park, okay? And they have also extended most of the parks in the city of Pensacola is going to be open from sunrise to sunset, okay? From sunrise to sunset. But there are 5 parks that they exempt from that. And the MLK Plaza is one of those parks that is going to be open from sunrise to 10 p.m. Before it was officially should have been closed at 5 at sundown, okay, from sunset to sundown. But you remember that incident that was in the park when they were feeding the hungry, and a young man was arrested for that. Then they decided that, well, and I think it's right. I think that was a great decision. This park is right downtown. It have public access. People love to sit in that park after hours and so forth. So it is open now until 10 p.m. Other parks like the Admiral Mason Park is also open to community Maritime Park is open. The Plaza Ferdinand Park is open, and the Veteran Memorial Park, as well as the MLK Plaza. All 5 of these parks are the ones that are open from sunset to 10 p.m. The other parks in the city of Pensacola, as I understand it, will be closed at sunset. Okay, but the folks, stuff like the lighted sports areas is also open to 10 p.m. You know, like the Bayview tennis court and the H.K. Matthews basketball court and the Roger Scott tennis court. They're gonna remain open until about 10 p.m. as well. They remain open from sunrise to midnight. You're gonna see new signs out pretty soon indicating all of that. So we thought we'll just give you a little heads up on that for Pensacola. Okay. Here's another. I think that a story that you need to be concerned about since it's Black History. See this man here? This man name is John Sunday. You know, he's a local Black figure, and we had Robin Richard on yesterday. Robin has a lot to say about this guy. This guy here is a major factor, a major contributor, if you will, to Black history in Pensacola, y'all. You need to know a little more about this man here. His name is John Sunday, okay? John Sunday, and in fact, when we have Mr. Robin Richard on next week, okay? When we have Robin Richard on next week, we're going to have her to talk to you about John Sunday because he was significant. He came out of slavery, y'all, and to build a lot of great things here in Pensacola. And I'm just telling us a little bit about Pensacola Black history. He was born in 1830. He actually was born into slavery. And then when he was released, when they freed the slaves, he became a carpenter and a merchant and a lot of things. And in fact, one of the things about this guy here, John Sunday, he's a Black man, but he became a part of the Florida State Legislature way back then. He's also, I think that maybe like in 1874 or something like that. He's also served in the 6th Regiment Corps. Robin would tell you all about John Sunday. Okay, he worked at the Navy, what they call the Navy Yard, but he's important figure in Black history, African American history here in the city of Pensacola. So you need to know him. You need to know him. Okay, I'm telling you, you need to know him. Also today, and I have to sadly report on this. They're gonna have a vigil tonight at 5 p.m. over at the can't think of the name of the. I'm trying to think of the name of the at the Morin apartment building to eulogize. No, I don't. I guess eulogize is the wrong word, but they are going to have a candlelight vigil for this young boy, 5-year-old boy that was murdered. Well, I don't know. Allegedly murdered because their mother is in custody for a manslaughter. They assuming that he may have starved. He may have starved to death. Okay. His mother's name is Jalinda Smith, 36 years old. She was charged with homicide, which the exact charges, I believe, was aggravated neglect manslaughter of a child. Okay, but they're gonna hold a visual today at 5 p.m. at Des Moines. Okay, at Des Moines. Also, let's go a little bit out of town here in Crestview. Remember that they're gonna hold some. They're gonna hold install. I said hold, but they installed in some red light cameras and photo cameras in the school there in Crestview. So if you over in the Crestview area, please be careful. Be careful with that, okay? Driving through those things. Also, and over in the I'm trying to think of what else over in the Crestview area. Over in Milton area, y'all. They are going to. There is also some issues. I was trying to find my story that I had for the Milton area. This is just Santa Rosa County. Santa Rosa County, they're looking at these big trucks that's going through the 4th Street there in Baghdad. And there's issues if you traveling or if you're working with the big trucks. There's the Forsyth Bridge over there, over on Forsyth Street. They were trying to protect. The Baghdad Bridge over there. So, if that's a story of interest to you, obviously you might want to do that. Okay. I believe over in Fairhope, I'm trying to get out of town again. Over in Fairhope, Alabama, there's the residents over there is concerned about being scammed. There's 3 Fairhope residents lost over $50,000 in a scam involving fake bank alerts. Y'all, please be careful. Be careful with that, and also make sure that you tell your parents, your grandparents, and everybody about these scams. Do not respond to these telephone scams or email scams or any stuff like that. You can easily be scammed. Tell them to check it out. Also, y'all, let's go back here to Escambia County. Measles, they got some reported cases of measles, 3 reported cases of measles involving kids here in Escambia County. The ages between 10 and 19. So you might want to thank your Department of Health, RJK, for not recommending measles shots. He who, whatever. Okay. All righty. All right. The last story here, I'm going to talk. No, one other thing about Pensacola. They coming up, the Pensacola American Magic they bought that from the Danish for $60 million. So, they got a complex here. So that means Pensacola is in the house. They're in the house for that, okay? That's something you're going to hear a lot more about it. All right. Last thing here I want to talk about locally here is we're going to talk about Valentine's Day. Are you ready? Are you ready for Valentine's Day? Y'all better if you're going to say get ready, better get ready for Valentine's Day, okay? Get ready for Valentine's Day. All righty, y'all. That is pretty much what I'm going to talk about that's in the news today. I got one other story I want to talk to you about. There's an event that's coming up and pretty soon. I believe it's going to be the Trailblazer Award that we will be talking. Hopefully, we'll be talking to Sister Sylvia Tisdale about. She should be calling in just in a few minutes so that we can talk about what's going on in and around her world and the this year 2026 Trailblazer Award, okay? The 2026 Trailblazer Award. But in the meantime, we're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, hopefully we'll be talking to not only her, but also Mr. Larry Williams, y'all. So Mr. Larry Williams and Miss Sylvia Tisdale about two important events that is going on in our community. Stay tuned.
It's time for Mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For Mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it now.
Looking for a moment of faith, hope, and connection? Join us for Prayer Perspectives by J.O. Gatson, live on WBQP TV and WBQP Radio. Every first Wednesday of the month from 9 to 10 p.m. Call in, share your prayer request, and receive prayer in real time. Mark your calendar starting February 4th. Prayer, Perspective, Power. Only on WBQP TV and WBQP Radio.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you. Call State Farm agent Arthur Searcy for your personal price plan today.
I remember these. Will I have the money to send my kid to college? Well, that's specific. How long has that been there? 7-letter word for a bank that helps you reach your goals.
Synovus. Order for Synovus?
Thank you.
Are you Synovus?
Yes.
Are you gonna ask or should I?
A solid financial future doesn't happen by chance. Let's talk about your potential today.
Navigating healthcare is hard. Baptist makes it better. With convenient locations, easy scheduling, and skilled, compassionate doctors. All when you need us most. The next time you need care, let Baptist make it better. Baptist Healthcare.
Some mobile companies make it hard to get a good deal. But at Cox Mobile, we know there's a better way to save. A smarter way. That's why we run on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability without breaking the bank. You'll pay as low as $30 per line. It's a win-win. Cox Mobile, the smart way to mobile.
Stash your money somewhere smarter. With 5.05% APY, Pen Air's high yield checking puts your money to work and earning big. Pen Air Credit Union. Join us.
These new Times the Cash scratch-offs have a fun multiplier feature. They're fun. You're fun. We're fun.
Agree to agree. Times the Cash scratch-offs from the Florida Lottery. It's good fun.
Day or night, your loved ones show up for you. At HCA Florida Healthcare, we do too. Because you're the center of our family, Florida's largest healthcare family. And you'll feel it in everything we do. HCA Florida Healthcare. We show up for you.
Need a new outfit for a special occasion? Look no further than Viola's Men's Apparel. Viola's has been providing the latest styles and accessories in Pensacola for over 20 years now. We have clothes for every occasion, and we offer consultations and group discounts. You can trust that our care, quality, and class will be unmatched. Viola's Men's Apparel for all of your menwear needs.
Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home has been in business since 1913. Hi, I'm David Hawkins, the owner of Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, saying we are a full-service funeral home. We offer pre-need funeral planning. We have a newly remodeled chapel and conference facility. Stop by and see us today. We have 9 vehicles, all waiting to service you. At Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, we appreciate your stopping by. On behalf of all of our family here at Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, thank you so much for allowing our family to serve you.
Larry Williams, your ECUA board member for District 3, presents the 4th Annual Community Prayer Breakfast, Saturday, February 21st, from 9 a.m. until 12 noon. This year's theme, The Church Prayed, Acts 12 and 5. On Saturday, February 21st, a delicious breakfast will be served. Our MC will be Anita Cromartie. Music by the Spiritual Persuaders. A cute comedy skit by Shatarish Girl. Several visionary voices will speak. Our keynote speaker will be Pastor Darian Horton of North Carolina. Community Service Leadership Lifetime and Legacy Award recipients will be announced Saturday, February 21st, 2026, 9 a.m. until 12 noon at the Pensacola Improv, 375 North Pace Boulevard. Donations are $20 in advance and $25 at the door. Youth 12 and under accompanied by an adult are free. Get your tickets now at the Original King's Barbershop. Get your tickets, they are available right now. Sponsorship to support seniors and our youth are being solicited and will be recognized. For more info, contact Larry Williams at 850-292-7139.
This is Prayer Perspectives by J.O. Gatson on your WBQP.
In the midst of prayer this morning, we are lifted and strengthened when the feebleness of our left hand touches the wholeness of God's right hand. Let us pray. Dear God, we bless you with such as we have on this morning. It's our left touching your right. It's our brokenness with tears, which mutates into righteousness. Now, Lord, make good this day for us, that your glory may be revealed to the weak and faint. Our prayer in Jesus' name, amen.
This is Prayer Perspectives by J.O. Gatson on your WBQP.
Hi, Vernon. We're wrapping up the week on a bright note. Friday brings a few passing clouds, but overall, we're looking at generally sunny skies with a high of 72 degrees. Tonight will cool down to 52. Now let's talk about Valentine's Day Saturday. Mostly cloudy conditions are expected with a daytime high of 69 degrees and a low of 61. There's just a 20% chance of rain, so most outdoor dinner plans should be just fine. Just keep an umbrella nearby just in case. Sunday turns a bit more active. We're holding steady with a high of 69 and a low of 55, but thunderstorms are expected. And looking ahead to Monday morning, the commute features mostly cloudy skies with highs reaching around 68 degrees. Not a washout, but a gray start to the work week. Enjoy the sunshine while you can and have a wonderful Valentine's weekend. This is Cheryl Mulrain with your weekend weather on WBQP TV.
It's time for Mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For Mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it out.
Vernon, Morning with Vernon this morning. Yeah, we got Sister Sylvia Tisdale here, y'all. She's going to be talking about an event that's going on in our community. Let me see if I can bring her in here. Dr. Tisdale, good morning. How are you doing this morning?
I'm great. Morning with Vernon. Thank you for having us on this morning.
Glad to have you. I understand that you got an event coming up, what you do every year called the Trailblazer Award. Before we talk about when and where, because it's the same place every year, tell us a little about the origin of the Trailblazer Award. You've been doing it for now, what, some 10 years or something like that?
9 years.
9 years. Wow. Okay. Talk to us about it.
Well, Vernon, I've always, want to have a heart to recognize people that normally don't get recognized. You know, a lot of times people don't see the people that are really doing the work or really making waves. And I'm in the community where the happenings are, you know, the people that actually do the work and trailblaze for us to get where we are. And so the University of West Florida contacted me also 9 years ago. And they wanted to get into the community, especially with Black History Month, to recognize African Americans in our community, local community, that were making a difference in different areas. So we started out with the University of West Florida, and we went with them for about 4 years. And then they went, you know, to other areas, so we continued on.
Okay. All right, tell us about this year's award.
Yes, we've already have selected, the committee has already selected the award in those areas that Community Service Award, Faith-Based Award, Helping Hands Award, and then we have 7 that we will be giving out this Wednesday morning at 11:30 at the Bayview Community Center. And we always have Ultimate Trailblazer. And these are just people that we don't know about, but we need to know about so that we ourselves can emulate these people in what they are doing. They're really making a difference, and they're leaving really an impact in our community. The nominations are already in, they have already been selected, but we don't want to give it out until Wednesday morning. So we just want to invite everyone just to come, and we want to let everybody know it's free. It's free, and we always prepare lunch, so you don't even have to worry about trying to eat lunch. You come on your lunch hour, 11:30 to 1.
Okay.
And it's a great fellowship and networking.
Absolutely, absolutely. You give awards in probably about 8 categories. You give a community service award, you give a helping hand award, a community voice award, faith service award, a servant award, educational leadership award, and then you give an ultimate trailblazer award. It is something that, if you haven't been to this event, you need to attend. If you want to see what it's like, go on WBQP. We do it every year, and we got it archived, and you can look at last year's events and previous year's events there. You certainly want to mark your calendar for January the 9th. I mean, February the 7th. Okay, 18th. February the 7th. Is that right?
Yes. February the 18th.
February the 18th. What I get Wednesday? February? Okay. Okay. I'm glad you corrected me. February the 18th at 11:30 at Bayview Community Park. Okay. So you might want to be there.
And if they need any additional information about it, they can always give me a call at 850-572-5761. And Mr. Vernon, I do thank you. Like you said, you have always been there for us, and you know, feminine, and definitely we're working also with Robin Richard. She's always our MC to really enlighten you know, the program. So we always have a great time. And like I said, it's a networking opportunity for the community to get together, especially as we honor other African American that have trailblazed the way for us.
Yeah, well, very good, very good. All right, anything else you want to share?
No, sir. I'm just looking forward to it. Like I said, we have a great group of people that we're going to be honoring, and I'm just all excited about it. I think we're going to have a real great time. So come on out.
All right. Well, I got you on the phone. Tell them about the other service you offer at Ep Christian Center about giving away food and stuff like. People would probably need to know about that.
Yes, sir. Every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 a.m. we have a food pantry that we give out food. Also, we do feed the homeless, and we give out. We do birth certificates, free birth certificates,
Birth certificates.
IDs, free IDs.
Really?
Yes, we do birth certificates because to help people, they need a birth certificate now in order to get job, houses, and to get that ID. You know, you have to have a Gold Star ID now.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people need birth certificates to get that Gold Star ID. And so we freely get the birth certificates, and birth certificate come back. We give them a voucher to go to the office to get the ID. Also, we work with them with the United Way. We partner with the United Way to help people get their birth certificates and IDs. And
I'm glad you said that, because a lady just asked me just the other day. I can't find my birth certificate. I need a birth certificate to get a job here.
Right,
I didn't realize that you can help people. I said, I don't know about it. I said, go to Social Security office. They said, well, you can't get down there, and then, and appointments and stuff like that. So you can help them with that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we do that every Tuesday and Thursdays.
Really?
We have a case manager that collaborate and make that happen for many, many people. Since October, we have done 75 birth certificates and IDs.
Okay. That is certainly something. You need to send me something, a graphic, so I can talk about that periodically, because people always need an ID and birth certificate in our community, so they know where an easy process of doing it, because a lot of people just don't know where to get started at.
Right. They come right here, and we get a lot of referrals from Waterfront. Some people leave the jailhouse, come straight to us. All kind of agency refer people to us. Like I said, we want United Way to. We've been doing this really for 2 years.
Okay, I never knew that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
And yes, and also we partner with the Children Trust on Saturday mornings. We go out to the area housing and pick up children, 40 kids from 3rd through the 5th grade. And we bring them here and we give them a STEM program, and we give them breakfast, we give them lunch. And tomorrow morning, we're going to give the kids, and we having the kids and the parents come together, and I'll be cooking an all you can eat pancake breakfast for the parents and the kids tomorrow morning for Valentine's.
Mm-hmm.
And, and we do plan to take these kids down to Disney World before the program ends, our summer program in July.
Okay. Well, tell folks who you are again and how they can find you, and the address and all that good stuff. Because some folks don't know who is that and what they're doing.
Yeah. Well, I've been here 22 years at the Epps Christian Center, 2202 North Pace Boulevard. My number always remain the same, 850-572-5761. And also, we have our church service on Sunday mornings at 8 a.m. We pick up people. We serve breakfast at our church service. So, feel free to come fellowship with us, even before you go to your church.
All righty then. Very good. Great information.
24/7.
24/7. All right. Very good. Your church is right next door, but make sure they bring tithe in, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, Pastor Tisdale. I really appreciate you, okay?
Well, I appreciate you and thank you so much for getting me on. I appreciate it. I really do.
Well, no, like I say, we're here to help you in any way that we can help you. We most certainly will. Our doors are always open for you. I'm here, like your ministry is the ministry to your community. My ministry is to get information out to the community. Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir, Mr. Vernon.
All right. Thank you, y'all. That is Pastor Sylvia Tisdale, y'all, of the Elf Christian Center. She provides food and help. Boy, I'm glad she came on because I had no idea that she helped people get birth certificates and ID cards and just like she said just a few minutes ago, you're gonna need a gold star to travel, or they're gonna be charging you $45 at the airport if you don't have what they call a quote real ID, and it should be attached to your driver's license. But if you don't have all of that, call S Christian Center, get your birth certificate, and do whatever you need to do to get squared away. Okay, because if you don't, it just might cost you some little extra money. You don't want to do that. Thank you, Pastor Tisdale. We'll see you on the flip flop, okay?
All right. Thank you, Vernon.
All right. Thank you. All right, y'all. Our next guest coming up here is Mr. Our ECUA commissioner, y'all, right here, Mr. Larry Williams, y'all. Larry, situation. I see him, but before I put him on, I want you to get your camera square. Oh, I know what he's trying to do. Never mind. It's always a method to his madness because he want me to see that flyer behind him about he's going to talk about the 4th annual community prayer breakfast. Good morning, sir. How are you this morning?
Good morning. Can you see the flyer in my background?
I can see the flyer, but I want you to situate. I got a flyer here. I can put the flyer up. Okay. So
okay.
Yeah. I want you to
normally that's
find the flyer here for me. But go ahead. Let's talk about the event that you got coming up, the prayer breakfast. Okay.
Yes. Our 4th annual community prayer breakfast coming up on the 21st of February at the Pensacola Improv, starting at 9:00. As you were saying, at Doug's Place, 375 North Pace Boulevard, and get excited about it. Actually, looking forward to it. Going to have a great group of people going to be on the program. Going to have some beautiful people who are going to come out and support, down to like our last 5 tables. I just want to give everybody an opportunity to come and be a part of it. Don't expect to have any tickets for sale at the door on that Saturday. So just want to make sure everybody knows and get your tickets now.
Okay, very good. You got the event. Well, talk to them about how they can get the tickets and so forth.
Right. Okay, great. We have a few ticket outlets in the person of or the business of the Original Kings Barbershop in the Old Town and Country Plaza, better known as Pumpkin's Barbershop. And then we have Anita Welcome. She has tickets. So if you call Anita Welcome, she has tickets for sale. And Deacon Eddie Snell is also another personal outlet. He has tickets for sale. And you can give me a call, area code 850-292-7139, and I will make sure you get tickets. Also, you can get tickets from me. So those are the people and the business that has tickets, and you can get tickets today. Tickets are only $20 for the community prayer breakfast, and it is going to be a delicious breakfast served. Also, we're going to have some young people speaking, as well as going to have a comedy skit. Going to have some speakers. Then we're going to have our keynote speaker, which is Pastor Darius Horton out of North Carolina. We're going to give out some leadership, lifetime, and legacy awards, and then we're going to bid you good day and great year.
All righty. Let me only give them a review of what they're going to expect. Okay, stand by.
Larry Williams, your ECUA board member for District 3, presents the 4th Annual Community Prayer Breakfast, Saturday, February 21st, from 9 a.m. until 12 noon. This year's theme, The Church Prayed, Acts 12 and 5. On Saturday, February 21st, a delicious breakfast will be served. Our MC will be Anita Cromartie. Music by the Spiritual Persuaders. A cute comedy skit by Shatarish Girl. Several visionary voices will speak. Our keynote speaker will be Pastor Darian Horton of North Carolina. Community Service Leadership Lifetime and Legacy Award recipients will be announced Saturday, February 21st, 2026, 9 a.m. until 12 noon at the Pensacola Improv, 375 North Page Boulevard. Donations are $20 in advance and $25 at the door. Youth 12 and under accompanied by an adult are free. Get your tickets now at the Original King's Barbershop. Get your tickets, they are available right now. Sponsorship to support seniors and our youth are being solicited and will be recognized. For more info, contact Larry Williams at 850-292-7139.
ECUA, Larry
Awesome.
Williams. Okay, Larry, what else you need to say about that? It looks like got to be a great activity here.
Yeah, we are we're really grateful for the opportunity to speak to the listening audience. We're giving them the best we can, and we just want them to know about it and ask them to come on out and get these last 5 tables filled up before. And you can give them as Valentine's gifts. You can give them as Valentine's gifts. And like I said, children under the age of 12, accompanied by an adult, are free. So you can bring your young ones with you and have a great breakfast and see a great group of beautiful people on that day, some in the audience and some on program. So great opportunity to spend a Saturday morning with your community. Thank you.
All right, Larry, thank you. We appreciate you, okay? Anything else?
Thank you. That kind of sets the stage. Give me a call at area code 850-292-7139, and I'll bring your tickets to wherever you are. Thank you, Vernon.
All right, and thank you. All right, y'all. Larry Williams, ECUA, District 3, working hard for you.
Working hard, man.
All right, then.
It's time
Bless
for
you.
mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it out.
Looking for a moment of faith, hope, and connection? Join us for Prayer Perspectives by J.O. Gatson, live on WBQP TV and WBQP Radio. Every first Wednesday of the month from 9 to 10 p.m. Call in, share your prayer request, and receive prayer in real time. Mark your calendar starting February 4th. Prayer, Perspective, Power. Only on WBQP TV and WBQP Radio.
Stash your money somewhere smarter. With 5.05% APY, Penair's high yield checking puts your money to work and earning big. Penair Credit Union. Join us.
These new Times the Cash scratch-offs have a fun multiplier feature. They're fun. You're fun. We're fun.
Agree to agree. Times the cash scratch-offs from the Florida Lottery. It's good fun.
Where does energy come from? Where does it go? At Pensacola Energy, we know that energy transfers from one form to another. Endless hot showers from our natural gas energize you. Your energy inspires others and grows into a positive energy force. Environmentally friendly, reliable, affordable natural gas from Pensacola Energy. We are your energy, Pensacola. For details on rebates, call 850-436-5050 or visit PensacolaEnergy.com.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you. Call State Farm agent Arthur Searcy for your personal price plan today.
Reign in the new year with a dazzling smile. Dr. Paul and the team at Marcus E. Paul DMD Gentle Family and Cosmetic Dentistry offer expert and comfortable dental care. From tooth replacement to addressing various needs, their friendly staff is ready to assist. Visit their office or call for the care you deserve. Achieve a beautiful smile with Marcus E. Paul DMD Gentle Family and Cosmetic.
Viola's Menswear, 2727 West Cervantes Street, Pensacola, Florida. Gentlemen, fine clothing at an affordable price. Suits starting at $139. Dress, shoes, hats, and accessories. Here at Viola's Menswear, 2727 West Cervantes Street in Pensacola, Florida. Call today at 429-7146, 2727 West Cervantes Street in Pensacola, Florida.
Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home has been in business since 1913. Hi, I'm David Hawkins, the owner of Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, saying we are a full-service funeral home. We offer pre-need funeral planning. We have a newly remodeled chapel and conference facility. Stop by and see us today. We have 9 vehicles, all waiting to service you. At Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, we appreciate your stopping by. On behalf of all of our family here at Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, thank you so much for allowing our family to serve you.
Navigating healthcare is hard. Baptist makes it better. With convenient locations, easy scheduling, and skilled, compassionate doctors, all when you need us most. The next time you need care, let Baptist make it better. Baptist Healthcare.
This is Prayer Perspectives by J.O. Gatson on your WBQP.
Father God, we come situating ourselves by disconnecting with this world and connecting with heaven. Casting all our cares upon you, praying our way through like the woman with the issue of blood. Now, Lord, we come with expressions of love and gratitude, asking you to bless us as we go throughout this day. Our prayer in Jesus' name, amen.
This is Prayer Perspectives by J.O. Gatson on your WBQP.
Larry Williams, your ECUA board member for District 3, presents the 4th Annual Community Prayer Breakfast, Saturday, February 21st, from 9 a.m. until 12 noon. This year's theme, The Church Prayed, Acts 12 and 5. On Saturday, February 21st, a delicious breakfast will be served. Our MC will be Anita Cromartie. Music by the Spiritual Persuaders. A cute comedy skit by Shatarish Girl. Several visionary voices will speak. Our keynote speaker will be Pastor Darian Horton of North Carolina. Community Service Leadership Lifetime and Legacy Award recipients will be announced Saturday, February 21st, 2026, 9 a.m. until 12 noon at the Pensacola Improv, 375 North Pace Boulevard. Donations are $20 in advance and $25 at the door. Youth 12 and under accompanied by an adult are free. Get your tickets now at the Original King's Barbershop. Get your tickets, they are available right now. Sponsorship to support seniors and our youth are being solicited and will be recognized. For more info, contact Larry Williams at 850-292-7139.
Hi, Vernon. We're wrapping up the week on a bright note. Friday brings a few passing clouds, but overall, we're looking at generally sunny skies with a high of 72 degrees. Tonight will cool down to 52. Now let's talk about Valentine's Day Saturday. Mostly cloudy conditions are expected with a daytime high of 69 degrees and a low of 61. There's just a 20% chance of rain, so most outdoor dinner plans should be just fine. Just keep an umbrella nearby just in case. Sunday turns a bit more active. We're holding steady with a high of 69 and a low of 55, but thunderstorms are expected. And looking ahead to Monday morning, the commute features mostly cloudy skies with highs reaching around 68 degrees. Not a washout, but a gray start to the work week. Enjoy the sunshine while you can and have a wonderful Valentine's weekend. This is Cheryl Mulrain with your weekend weather on WBQP TV.
It's time for Mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For Mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go.
All right, y'all. Morning with Vernon this morning. Good morning, everybody. I just want to wish you a happy, lucky Friday the 13th, y'all. This is your lucky day. Trust me. This is your lucky day. Around 8 o'clock time frame, y'all, we're going to be talking to Commissioner Mike Coulter, y'all, the County Commissioner District 2, around the 8 o'clock time period. So you definitely don't want to miss that. 8:30 time slot, we're going to be talking to our sheriff, Escambia County Sheriff Chip Simmons. We will be talking with this morning. But before we do all of that, y'all, I want to get into some of the community, what I call it, the community news, if you will, community news that we could use. Okay, what I call public service announcement. If you have any things that are going on in the community you need to pass on, just text it to me or email it to me here at WBQP TV at gmail.com, or either WBQP at WBQP.com, or text it to me at 850-293-5007, and I will definitely get it on for you. All right, let's go into what's happening in and around our area here. Get your pencil and paper now. Get your pencil and your phone and your calendar. Some people got calendars and papers and stuff like that. All right. But I use my phone. So you want to pull up the calendar on your phone so you can jot this down. Certainly Pakara, you definitely don't want to miss the Pakara production, But God is featuring the stage play, teaching the stage play with our own award-winning playwright, Mr. Leroy Williams. Going to be held at the Pensacola High School Auditorium, y'all. So you want to make sure you get your tickets now. If you get them in advance, okay? If you get them in advance, then you can save yourself some money, okay? Save yourself some money. All right. Mark this on your calendar, okay? The Chappie James Museum is holding their 2026 gala, okay? They're holding their 2026 gala. So you want to mark on your calendar for February the 28th. February the 28th, okay? And it's going to be at the Sandra Beach Community Center there, what we call the Kareem Jones Center. Kareem Jones Center. I want you to get your calendar all marked, okay? All right, Dance Connection. Want to make sure that if you enjoy dancing, okay? They teach ballroom dancing. They teach line dancing. They got Sugar Bear. He's trying to teach some dancing. Tony Anderson teaching. Miss Gail Johnson. All of them over there at Dance Connection. So you might want to do that. If you got line dancing classes up at on Highway 29 on Wednesdays, and so you want to check that out as well. All right, I'm going to jump over to Santa Rosa County here. You might want to put this on your calendar too, if you will. They're going to have what they call a triple barbecue, brew, and band. It's going to be on March 28th. So you want to get registered for that. Just go to Eventbrite and get registered for that as well. Big John Haley concert, y'all, was last weekend. Sunshine need to call me and tell me how all of that went, the Big John Easy concert. I didn't get a chance to make it. I definitely had good intentions, but you know what they say about good intention? They say that the road to hell is paved with good intentions, okay? The road to hell is paved with good intentions. So you know how that goes. All right, let me move on, y'all. The National Coalition of 100 Black Women, Inc., is holding their Women of Excellence, Masquerade of Excellence Unmasking the Trailblazers. It's going to be at the Hilton Garden Inn at the San Carlos Ballroom, located at 1144 Airport Boulevard. The special guest is going to be Miss Lanice Liggins of y'all. So you definitely don't want to miss that event. Also, the African American Chamber Conference. We're going to have Mr. Brian Wire on next week. He's going to be talking about the Gulf Coast Chamber. Okay, the Gulf Coast Chamber. They're going to have their annual meeting on March 24th. So you definitely want to mark your calendar. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day. You got a lot of Valentine's stuff coming up this weekend, and over in Okaloosa County, they're gonna have a Valentine's Day dinner at 6:30. It's going to be over, and this stuff is designed to raise. These are fundraisers. The proceeds from this are gonna go towards a scholarship fund, and so you might want to mark your calendars. Tomorrow, you go over in the Okaloosa County area there, okay? Also, in Santa Rosa County, the Santa Rosa County Black Democrats, the Black Caucus, Santa Rosa Democrat Black Caucus is going to be meeting over at the CMF Center in Milton on the 18th, y'all, over at I think it's the 18th. Yeah, it is the 18th. So you want to make sure that you mark your calendars for that. If you're over in Santa Rosa County, so they're going to be celebrating Black History over there as well. The Panhandle Progressive has got an event going on in February, and scheduled on February the 28th at 10 a.m. So mark your calendar for that. Still being a little more political here because the Escambia County Democratic Party, they're going to be doing canvassing throughout the months of February and March. They started back in January. So 2026 is an election year, and in fact, it is a crucial election year. We're gonna have to take our country back, y'all. We need to take our country. I know how MAGA feels. We got to take our country back. You damn right. We need to take our country back. But anyway, join the Democratic Party on Saturday, starting around 1 o'clock. I think they start around 1 o'clock or so, and they're going to canvass the neighborhood and everything. You really don't want to miss this event here, y'all. This is called the Baptist Town Quilt. The Kukui Institute, y'all, which is located down on the blocks, if you will, they are holding this Baptist Town Quilt event. It's going to start on the 20th of February. The reception at least going to be next Friday, the 20th of February, starting at 5 o'clock. And then on the following day, on Saturday, they're going to have an exhibit. And the exhibit going to start at 10 a.m. They're going to, you're going to run from 10 to 5. But the part you definitely want to see and you want to hear is the Quilter Talk. It's going to start at 2 p.m. You definitely want to do that. And you ask us, well, what is the Quilter Talk? What is that? What is Baptist Town? Well, Baptist Town is a Black community in Greenwood, Mississippi. And that was founded back in the 1800s. And the quilt was made by Patricia Gaston, who was born in Baptist Town and grew up there in the 1960s. And so she has this quilt, which is a large-scale apparatus that is an art quilt that tells the story of Baptist Town. It's very historic and very interesting. You definitely want to make sure that you be there, okay? Also, the Kukui Institute is holding, this is what you don't want to miss either, y'all. They are holding Researching Your Family and Telling Your Story event on Saturday, February 28th at 9 a.m. to noon. You need to trace your roots, y'all. You need to trace your roots. Because you never find, when you shake that family tree, you never know what's going to fall out of there, okay? You'd be surprised. Sometimes you're gonna be pleasantly surprised. I traced my family roots. I'm so glad I did. I found some really interesting and great positive facts about my family history, and I think you will too. So you may want to get involved with that and mark a calendar to do that. If you're not into genealogy, it's something you might think about doing. The African American Ella Jordan African American Museum is also having events throughout the month of February. They have several events. They had the essay contest back in the first week of February. They had Miss Elder Vera Simmons and come in and sang, and that woman can sing, and then I think tomorrow, I think it's tomorrow, they're gonna have this healthy mind and body and soul panel discussion led by Minister Cynthia Brown. They're going to be talking about physical health. You're going to have Miss Renita Anderson. She's a real nurse. That's what an RN stands for, right? Real nurse. Oh, there, no, somebody said no blues. That stands for registered nurse. Okay, I thought RN stand for real nurse and LPN stand for little play nurse, but I guess not. I guess they're licensed registered nurses. And okay, I don't know to get into. But anyway, they're going to be down at the Ella Jordan Museum. Okay. I'm at physical health. They're going to be even talking about mental health. We got Dr. Gabriel Davis. He's a mental health counselor. He's going to be there talking about food health, stuff like that. We got a registered, an LRD. That's a licensed registered dietitian. That's Mrs. Surrender Denard. She's going to be talking about your food health. So you don't want to miss that. Also, mark a calendar for the following week, the 17th. They're going to have evangelist Vonda Gates there. And if you hadn't heard Mrs. Gates, Evangelist Gates, Yates, excuse me, but you know who I'm talking about, Reverend Yates, of the Reverend Yates fame, Vonda Yates, the First Lady for many years. She's very inspirational. If you hadn't heard her, I can't imagine you hadn't heard her, but I tell you what, if you hear her, you're going to want to hear her again. She's very, very, very inspirational. Also on the 24th, they got scheduled Life in 2026 and Beyond with Drusilla James and Minister Romella Farmer. And go on and on and on and on. Y'all, you just don't want to miss these opportunities. Another thing we got coming up, starting next week with Mr. Willie Farrell here. We got a new program starting around 11. It says here 12 noon, but it's going to be 11 noon right here on WBQP. Okay, join your community. So you might want to put down your calendar so you can look at that and march that. If you're into Motown, something going on down at the Singer, I shouldn't be advertising this because this is a paid event. They probably didn't advertise with me, but I don't encourage these people to advertise with me. But because it's in a black event, I think I want to try to help promote it. But when you go down and asking for advertising, they spend their money elsewhere. Because white folks like Motown too, but they spend their money in the white community advertising with them. And maybe a strategy behind that. Maybe because when they advertise with the white folks show up and get the return on their money. But one thing that they probably don't count on is the fact that they do just like the politicians do. They just take our money and our votes for granted. Once we say Motown and they do it word of mouth, they figure we come and don't have to spend money in our community to let us know about stuff like that. And fools like me that giving them free advertising don't help. Okay. Yep. I said it. Okay. Let me move on. Investing in your community expo is also scheduled for February, March 21st. Okay. So put that on your calendar as well. The Silver Fox Steppers, the Dance Connection again, is holding their Black and Silver Gala on March 7th, y'all. On March 7th, you need tickets. Call Gail Johnson at 850-525-1923. They're going to be at the Improv and so forth. So you might want to get, and in fact, you might want to purchase a ticket for a senior, because these Silver Steppers are seniors, and they're going to show you how they construct their stuff. But they're having their annual ball. It's going to start at 5 p.m. Tickets are only $50. They're going to feed you in the whole 9 yards, and it's going to a great cause. We just got through talking to Larry Reason about the 4th annual community prayer breakfast, which is going to be held at the Improv again. So we just talked about that. They're going to have a special guest from from the Kakalakis up there, from the White Oak Missionary Church. That's Pastor Derek Horton there. So you put that on your calendar. Also, Equal Ground, the Legislative Advocacy Committee, is holding their equal event in Tallahassee. So you don't want to miss that as well. The Harlem Nights, that's a special live performance by Mr. Alonzo Russell. I'm trying to see if that event is still there. And we're going to talk about that a little later on. Also, there is also Valentine's Day again tomorrow. Tomorrow, Valentine's Day, you have a 3-course dinner there at the Supper Club. You want to put that on your calendar, as well as, let me see something. Did I miss anything? We got that one. I got this one. Also, the Black History Month, I believe mark your calendar for February the 21st, 2026, a Century of Black History commencement. Yeah, it's going to be located at the Carver Hill Center School there in Crestview, Florida, y'all. That's our neighbor again. Then I think we already talked about the Black History Valentine's dinner they're going to have over in that area. Then we got Melody of Love, which is also again tomorrow, y'all. Tomorrow is going to be at 4. The expo going to start at 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Showtime is going to be at 4 p.m. Music going to be by DJ Mike Ice. Okay, and so put that on there. I think we already talked about the Epps Christian Center is having their Trailblazer Award. The Epps Christian Center is having their Trailblazer Award next week. Okay, having their Trailblazer Award next week. All righty, y'all. I think I've covered most of the community events that's coming up this weekend and in the near future. I want to talk about, I got a very special guest this morning, somebody that's near and dear to me, special friend of mine that's I voted for my county commissioner, y'all, Mr. Mike Coulter. He's the county commissioner of District 2. And y'all talking about, we talking about crossing the aisle, you know, Mike, I got him on. Good morning, Mike. You're a Republican by chance, aren't you?
I'm a Republican, but I'm an American and I'm a lover of all people, Vernon.
I know. Hey, Mike, good morning. How you doing?
Good. How are you doing today, Vernon?
I am doing a lot better that I got you on. Thank you for taking your time out to coming on and talking to your constituency in District 2 and the folks here in Pensacola and Escambia County. We're glad to have you on, man.
Well, thank you, Vernon. I just got back yesterday from a 3-day trip in D.C. working on multiple issues around the base, and it was a really productive meeting. I'm really excited. I could share some of the stuff that we discussed here on their show this morning. But that was a good trip, and obviously some of the things we can talk about that are going on in District 2 as well, and in the county, and some of the things that we'll be working on with other commissioners in the city, like the Bay Center. We're going to be having that. That's coming up soon as well, too. But got back from D.C. with the Northwest Florida Defense Coalition. I'm on that. And we went up there with Santa Rosa, some community leaders, and obviously we're lobbying for several things. If you've been reading the paper this last week, we had some really, really big wins. We got $3 million appropriated for the South Navy Boulevard project. as well as $12 million that will hopefully be earmarked for the hangar to preserve, the mission of the base. We need quite a bit more for the hangar, but that was a good start. So that was a great win for our community. I mean, it was exciting for me because it's two of those projects I've been leading on with some of the previous, like Admiral Quinn and Debbie Graham. Now we have a new board, and we're continuing that, and it's good. It's really good for the community, Vernon.
Well, I'm glad because we need that money for our community, Mike. Thank you for going and bringing that money back home because we need it.
I'll tell you something, Vernon, and this is the thing. Local politics is so different than national politics. But I'll tell you, I wouldn't have got across the finish line without Congressman Petronas. And he has a great appropriation staff up there that has worked really hard on the base. Now, I know some of your listeners may have a difference of opinion, but for me, I got to work with everybody, right?
Absolutely.
And I got to help out and make our community better for all the people that live here. So that's what my goal is, and I'm very proud of these accomplishments. And I think it's going to make Escambia County a more stronger, vibrant community. And I'll tell you, the Coast Guard, if I could share that with you for a second, I put in the RFI after Senator Moody's office called, was kind of out of nowhere. We sat down with DHS yesterday, 31 different communities applied. It sounds like we're in the top 3. They're going to announce something within the next month, they said. And we're very competitive. And that would bring 15,000 coasties into Escambia County and about 600 organic staff that would be Coast Guard, active duty, as well as 400 family members. And it would be an enormous economic boom to our economy, probably about an additional $1 billion a year. So if we get that, we all are going to have to be dancing in the streets, because that is a huge, I'll be there with you, Vernon. We're going to be dancing wherever you want. I don't care. But that'll be a big, big win. So I'm praying for that. That kind of fell on us by accident. You don't want to get too excited, but after yesterday's meeting, I think if you were to ask the other members of the Northwest Florida Defense Coalition, it was really, really positive. And I really think we're in the top 3. I really do believe that. So they're going to say, they told us they'd make an announcement here shortly, and we'll know then. But we'll see what happens. But that would have to kick off by 2028. And obviously we're looking at NAS Pensacola as more than likely the primary site to integrate that. But we also have the option of Softly Field. And, Mr. Plakey, the guy who was leading the meeting yesterday, I gave him the skipper's number to validate all the stuff that we're talking about. So I'm sure he called Captain Newman. And I reached out to her. And actually, I'm going to call her later today and just give her a short brief on the meeting that we had yesterday.
Let me turn my mic back on. Mike, sound like you've been busy, man. I'm so glad that you on our team here, because that money that we need for the Blue Angel, for the base, for a long time, to be honest with you, I felt we was ignored because we didn't get a lot of attention for our military bases. One of the things that we were proud of in previous years, that the representatives bring money back to our community to help the bases out and everything, because that's the economy here. So
47%.
For a minute now, I think we went through a dry season, but look at you and Petronas doing a good job. And by the way, Mike, this is as a side note, I want to make sure, I want to interview Representative Petronas, so you can help me get that interview.
Yeah, I'll ask him. Okay? I will definitely do that for you. I think he's working, Johnson's Beach. I talked to him yesterday about this because, we have the customary use issue. And he's going to try to decrease that fee to maybe free or down to a daily rate. And I hope it's less than $5, because that's ridiculous. It used to be free for everybody.
Right.
And he gets it, and you can talk to him about it, but I brought that up on the dais. Most of the local citizens that ain't going out to the beach for 7 days. They just want to go out and have a birthday party or, something, have a 1-day event, and they can go out there for 7 days. That's for the tourists, right? So,
right.
I mean, I don't know why they didn't have a daily rate for the locals. So he gets it. He told me he's gonna work on that. As you know, I've asked them to try to do something with Rosemont Johnson's award.
Yeah.
They're working on that too. Obviously, that has to go over to the Pentagon and be looked at. But honestly, I'll tell you, Vernon, he's trying to do things for our community, especially on the base and stuff that we all can celebrate. And I know because I'm working close with him on several of these issues. And I know how important Rosemont Beach is to the Black community and the history with it. And it's important to me because I came there as an E2 and I just went out there. That was the beach I went to, right? And you just drove up out there. Now it's like some sort of tourist trap and all the locals. I mean, I don't even get it. But we're going to change that. We're going to change that too. I'm working on that.
Yeah, Mike, since it's Black History Month and folks don't know the history of that, and this is Black local history, Johnson Beach is have a lot of historical significance to the Black community because it was the only beach at one time that Black folk could go to. And I'm glad they honored the first man from Escambia County to die was it the Korean War?
Korean War.
And he died as a hero.
He
and
did.
They named the beach after him. And that's great. Significant news.
And his family member, I think at that time, there was still a lot of racial tension in the country, and he never got a personal award. He got a Purple Heart. Yeah. And to me, that was a disservice, being a military. I think I don't know, most, that I was in the Navy for 33 years enlisted and a warrant officer, but I just find that amazing that, in his citation, he had saved 2 lives. Now, I think it was just a private too. It was either E2 maybe. It was an E1D3. I don't remember. He was a junior enlisted man.
Right.
And anyways, went in and saved a person, went in again, and then got shot and killed in action. And, that's unbelievable. We need to honor and remember those type of people that give the ultimate sacrifice for our country.
Absolutely. And, he went in when he was 15 years old. He lied about his age.
I forgot that. Yeah, he did. He was so young.
And died at 17 years old.
I know. Isn't that unbelievable? I went in at 17. I enlisted on depth, but I had to wait till I was 18 to join. But you hear about back in the day when they didn't have a lot of good documentation tracking where people would go in young like that. Well, it was a way for them to survive. Yeah. I mean, the people didn't, you didn't have a lot of options. And if you were in a low income area, the military was your option to make a living and serve your country with pride. And, unfortunately, a lot of those young enlisted people were the front lines of battle and lost their lives.
Yeah. I know a guy that lives over in Wedgwood, and I think he's still living today. I got to find because I want to interview him. He lied about his age. He went in at 14 years old. He was one of those big boys for his age, and he lied about his age and made a complete career out of the Navy for 30 years, and but went in at 14 years old. Can you believe that?
Well, I can actually because I've heard a lot of those stories, but it's hard in today's world. You couldn't imagine that, right? You think like, man, a kid in 8th or 9th grade joined the military. And, that one, I don't think that could happen today. But yeah, that 50, 60, 70 years ago, that happened. Yeah. And it's just those stories are very touching. And you look at some of these folks, and even the cemetery we cleaned up. The Black cemetery over here at Hope Cemetery. Yeah, that has some historic African American soldiers and sailors that were buried there. That's true. I didn't know that till we cleaned that up. Marcel Davis was telling me, well, his parents are buried there, but we were cleaning that up, and I told I found out that there were soldiers and sailors that buried in that. They didn't go to the Brancas. just because they're, I guess they were living in Warrington and that's where they wanted to be, their families wanted them to be buried.
Yeah.
But, there's a lot of history that in our community, even out at Barrancas, there is cemetery.
Yeah.
But no, I think what we started with, we have such an enormous military presence. It's 47% of our economy, $6.6 billion for Escambia County and Santa Rosa. So we have to preserve and fight for the military, and we are. We're getting a lot of good wins. And I feel good about it. That was one of the reasons I ran. I came here as a junior sailor and I watched the West Side just kind of too much blight and things that I didn't like to see, honestly, Vernon.
Yeah. Yeah.
And especially going down Navy Boulevard, we have 5 to 7 people go to Barrancas for a funeral a day. And it looked like something out of Mogadishu that had been bombed up. It's like, we got to clean this up, man. And so we're getting there, but I'm proud of that. And I think
Mike, that goes to my next question. You're trying to get that redesigned down there in that New Warrington area. Talk to us about that project, and then you get a little money thrown your way to help with that.
We got the $3 million, and I got some better news. I got text yesterday from the county attorney. Now the state bill has $1.5 million to augment that. If it gets through and the governor signs it, it's got a couple more hurdles to get over. So that will get us to $4.5 million. Then the project's going to be around 12 to 13. So we'll basically, the design of we did the study, right?
Yeah.
So now we're in the design. That's going to come out of Warrington CRA. And that we've talked to the community about that. They're fine with that because it's part of the redevelopment. That's what we do with one of the things we can do with the redevelopment, community redevelopment stuff. And so we'll use that. And then the county will look, we can also ask next year for another grant. And there's something called DCIP, Defense Community Installation Program, I guess. They gave $6.5 million for the White Island restoration project around the base.
Right.
So we're going to ask for that, and then we're working with the engineering department. Don Christensen and Tim Day are working with FDOT. There's 3 lanes leaving the base, and I didn't realize the complexity of this, but we're working with the FDOT 3 director Tim Smith. That I believe has to go all the way up to the Secretary of Transportation to approve that to go back to 2 lanes. But we've been told that will happen. So I'm hoping we get the design started. Now that we got funding coming in, I'd like to see this started, in the next 9 to 12 months, the project. So I think that's very feasible. Probably take less. I'm told by HDR less than a year. And Vernon, just to share this with you, when we did the public forum over at Lexington Terrace on this, we had 2 public, input meetings. We had over 100 people at each meeting. And then the input, HDR told me they had never had so much input for one program. Close to 700 people commented on that project, and It was overwhelmingly supportive. That's how much the community wants to see this project and really feels passionate about it. And so obviously I'm very proud of that we're moving that way. And I think it's going to be a big win for our community when we finally get it done. So I'm
absolutely
excited.
WBQP was covered your very first one you had down in Warrington, and the turnout was tremendous. I was impressed.
It was between that we did 2 there, and it was I was caught off guard because sometimes I'll do a neighborhood meeting, town hall, you get 10 people. That one, man, they couldn't get. We didn't have enough room. I'm surprised the fire marshal didn't show up. I said, "Hey, be quiet! No, don't tell anyone. These are the exits." But it was good.
Yeah,
it was good stuff. But and I want to just say something about the board. I think our board is working really well right now. We occasionally we differ on something, but it's the animosity. There, I feel like we have a good vibe going right now. And I work well with Commissioner May. I consider him a good friend of mine, and and I want to work with him, and everyone on the board. And so I know we differ here and there, but I really feel the board's working well. I don't know what you would think from the outsider looking in, Vernon, but I can tell you, for being up there 3 years, I feel like the energy's pretty good.
I agree with you, Mike. There's not an open hostility. I've seen the division in the board in the past, but lately it looked like y'all working as a team. But you know what though? But you got to have some dissent. If everybody agrees to everything, there's something wrong with that. You got to have some difference of opinion. And just like I tell people, even about politics, even about anything in life, I learned something from my grandmother that stuck with me all of my life. She told me, she said, son, they say there's two sides to a story. She said, that's not true. She says, always three sides to a story. Your side, my side, and the truth gonna be somewhere in between. But the important thing that you need to understand about whatever side you choose, at least you can have information on both sides, and whatever side you choose, at least you been informed and make a decision on where you're going to fall after listening at both sides. If you listen on only one side of the story, you're missing out on something. If you listen at the other side of the only the other side of the story, you're missing out on something. But if you listen at both sides, when you come to a conclusion after listening to both sides, you were well informed. And that stuck with me for years, and that's what I try to do. Just to listen to both sides of the story, then I decide on which side I want to be on. And you cannot solve any problem without knowing what the other side thinks. Okay?
Oh, yeah. And the thing is, and what I've realized, and I'll tell you what bothers me with even the state and national politics, there's no common ground. It's absolutism. Yeah. And, we need to be kind. We need to work with each other. We need to, I hate these government shutdowns. I think you should exhaust everything. And I don't care which side does it, because when I was in the Navy, every time one happened, you'd have mission essential, non-mission essential. You'd be putting out letters, and it caused so much stress. It caused so much stress. And I know political parties on both sides, they want to do that. I don't like it personally, Vernon. I don't like it at all. And because I think it just divides the country more. And I wish we could do better. Come to some common ground. And I just think that national and state politics has gotten so divisive. That's why I think the local, we got to show that we can work together. I really do. I think we have to, because people are exhausted by it. I am, and I'm a Republican. I'm sure you feel the same way sometimes. You're like, no one wants to live in a dysfunctional government. And so it gets old, man. But I don't know what the answer is, honestly. I think I can only do my part, and that's all I can try to do, and try to make my little piece of the world, have people believe that I'm trying to work with everybody and do what's right. And that's all I'm going to keep doing.
That's what I'm saying. I'm a diehard Democrat, okay? And I got a good friend of mine, Charles Thornton. He's a diehard Republican. I love that man. and when I met you, you can read people. And the minute I met you, came to my office one day, and Charles brought you there to do some advertising. And when I met you, you're a genuine person. When you talk to you, you can resonate with people. You real. That's what I like about it. But one thing, before I forget, one thing I want to ask you back on a personal note. Your story, Mike, is a real inspirational story for military. Okay, tell the folks your journey about your military history that can inspire. I was just reading just yesterday about two naval flight officers who were brothers, and the whole military family was involved, and now they flight officers. But tell your story, because I can relate to what you're doing, and I think many people can relate to your journey. Can you share that with us?
Yeah, I will, bro. I've told this story so many times in the Navy, but I was adopted, never met my biological father. My birth name was Arthur. And my dad that adopted me had got his GED in the Army. We didn't have a lot of money like a lot of people, and started working in a Chinese restaurant at 14 years old called The Walk-In. Yeah, no, Chi Yuan was my first boss on my Social Security, but he was a hard worker. But anyways, I didn't think I'd go to college, right? So I signed up on November 8, 1986 to join the Navy. My mom had to sign it. She was tearing up at the coffee table or kitchen table, I should say, and my dad was like, "Yeah, go," Not really, but his health's not doing. But I didn't know what else to do. I thought I got to get out on my own and start my life. So July 8th of 1987, a little after a month of graduating from high school, I got on my first plane ride to San Diego, California to go to boot camp. And then after that, I became a corpsman right over in San Diego. I did pretty well there, so they offered me a sea school. So I ended up going to Fort Sam. And then after that, I never thought I was very academically, good. But my parents, that wasn't a big thing. Just get C's. That's why you're part of the normal crowd if you get C's. So that was our standard. But I did pretty good. We never had big discussions about that stuff. But my mom and dad are proud of me, and but the Navy started building my self-esteem. Right? You know how they build leaders.
Yeah.
And then I got through that, and then I ended up here in Pensacola, and I lived in the barracks behind the Navy hospital with two other guys, three guys to a room and a shared bathroom. And then I just started walking to. I worked on weekends and PMs, and I started walking down to PJC there at the time and going to school when I had off time. And then the next thing you know, I got a 2-year degree and got picked up as a warrant officer. W01, and I was the youngest W01. I was told at the time I was just a little over 22. Went out to Oakland, and then from there to Guam. Guam was probably one of the most unique assignments I ever had, just because I was there for the Korean airline crash and Operation Pacific Haven. We saved a lot of lives. It was unbelievable. There was just bodies everywhere. It was that story I could talk about for an hour in itself. And then we were there when Bill Clinton was the president. I have a framed letter from him in my office, and it was when they brought all the Kurds from Iraq over, and at that time that was a big deal. But there wasn't a lot of computers then, right? Everyone was using fax machines, and there wasn't cell phones. He got on the 1MC with the captain Wheeler, which was the CO at the time, and I thought I was dreaming, honestly, Vernon, because I was so tired. We were on day 3. And he basically, he said, "Thank you." And there was only one English speaking person on that plane from New Zealand. Everyone else was South Korean. So the comms were terrible, but that was tough. I think we saved 26 lives. We lost a lot more. I'm hundreds. I think there were 250 some people on that plane. But then after that, I came back here and ended up, getting my master's at UWF. And then I went to DC, worked for an admiral up there. And then they offered me the OIC back here. Then I spent some time down in Guantanamo Bay. That was sounds fun, man. But it was fun for about 2 weeks. But it was good. I went down there, because I was over all the basically the force feeds and medical care and all the stuff that had to happen for the people that were hunger striking, and so that was good. And then I came back, and then they sent me over to New Orleans to run the medical clinic over there, and I screened and ended up coming back to Pensacola and Motzi. But you're right, I was blessed only by the grace of God. Sometimes you get some luck. I screened for the White House when I was out at Whiting. I didn't get it. And I ended up going to work for an admiral. And that was, that was a great job, because just like what we did the last 3 days, I know how the sausage is made up on Capitol Hill, because I was running around with Admiral Scavenge. I know how this system works. So in retrospect, that was probably a great assignment for me now with what I'm doing with trying to get money from the federal side for our area. And sometimes you don't realize those jobs are building you for the next thing you may do. I never thought I'd do this, but you're right. I had 13 pay grades. E1, E5, W1, CW2, and O1, O6. And I used to always joke with the flag officers about that, because, most of them, a lot of them are ring knockers. And so they're all officers. So I'm proud of that. But, like anything, I tell people, stick with the program. You don't always get the thing the first time, but perseverance, and this, Vernon, if the military, I believe, is a very fair organization on the most part. And people that work hard will eventually get rewarded if they want what they're going after. I've seen it. I've written a lot of letters for a lot of different sailors for boards and recommendations that were good sailors. And I'm always proud when I see them get promoted or get an officer commissioning program or get into senior enlisted academy or whatever their goal is, right? But no, I'm proud of that. Thanks for asking me that, Vernon. I like.
Yeah, that's a great story, Mike. You went from what, E1 or E2 through an 06 in
E1
your
to
career.
E5.
It's very inspirational.
It was a good career. And I think that when I ran, a lot of, there's a lot of veterans in this community. And, they look at my bio and they're like, you really had, but I'll tell you, I thought I had met the record on pay grades, but Captain Pruitt, he lives here in Pensacola. He's in Navy League with me. That character had 16. I've never met anything like him ever. And,
really?
He's a little bit older than me. He went up to chief and then became a warrant and then went 01 to 06. But he's probably got the most pay grades ever in the military.
He went 16 pay grades?
He sure did. Yeah. And he didn't make flag. So he had 7 enlisted, 3 warrant, and then 6 01 to 6. So
wow.
He's a good man. He's getting up on age, but he always is at Navy League, and I always joke with him. I said, well, I met my match with him. But we have a good time with it.
Yeah. Okay, Mike. Well, we appreciate it. Mike Coulter, y'all, Commissioner 3. Starting in April, Mike gonna have his what you gonna call it, Mike? I think this is a popular word they usually use about this when you what they call it when the status, what the president call it when they do the state of, okay, I guess you're gonna have your state of the
county would be
the state of the county once a month. He got a program coming up here on WBQP starting in April.
We'll call it the state of the county, I guess, or we'll just talk about what's going on in the county.
District 2.
Yeah, or District 2, but we'll highlight the things going on in Escambia County as well.
Yeah, I think that's important, Mike, and thank you for agreeing to do that, because people want to know what we're doing, where the taxpaying dollars are going, what you're doing. Obviously, with you in charge, you can see what's going on. You can see the results of your work, and we appreciate that. But I think more communication you have with people in your constituencies, the more successful you can be. So,
hey, Vernon,
and they want to see you.
You got Ronnie Rivera up next?
Yeah, I got Ronnie. I got Ronnie. He's sitting in for the sheriff this morning.
Yeah, this is a cheap fill-in for Sheriff Simmons. But before we go any further, let me say something. I have the pleasure, Vernon, of working with a lot of commissioners in our county. And to be honest with you, there really is nobody more concerned about neighborhoods and the things that I do than Mike Kohler in District 2. It is amazing the type of work that he's been doing around our community since he's been elected. He truly understands what neighborhoods need and what they want. And I'll be honest with you, that's what the sheriff brought me in here to do. And so it's always a pleasure to see Mike in my day job for sure. How are you doing, Commissioner?
Good, Ronnie. Thanks for the nice comments, man. And I was going to give your wife a shout out with Vernon because he was talking about, it's like Ronnie's wife's working real hard for a library over in Myrtle Grove for me. So we but we'll talk about that in April. But she's doing great work for us too in the county.
We appreciate it, Commissioner. Thanks so much for the heads up on that. She is a hard-working woman, that is for sure. She puts up with me, which is a full-time job in and of itself.
No comment. All right, I'm going to check out. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you,
guys.
Okay,
Mike. Thank you so much, Mike.
Bye, y'all.
All right, y'all. Then Mike Coulter, our county commissioner for District 2, my county commissioner that I voted for county commissioner, and I'm so glad I did. Today, we got Ronnie Rivera this morning. He's a neighborhood specialist for the Escambia County Sheriff Office. Good morning, Ronnie. How are you this morning?
I'm well, sir. How are you doing this morning?
I am doing well. Just
That's
want to
right.
check in with the sheriff department and see how things going. Where the sheriff? I know he must be busy traveling the country and trying to do good things to show folks around the country how to do law enforcement the right way.
Yes, sir. He has just recently returned from Washington, D.C., like you say. He was at the Sheriff's National Convention there. Him and our Chief of Staff, Whitney Lucas, had an opportunity to explore a workshop there that they hosted, and it was about the Blazer Academy, the things that we do here in Pensacola as far as mentorship. They were asked to come and speak there at the national stage, and they did that, and it was quite a great time for them. So he is a bit busy. He sent me today, which is unusual, right? Everybody likes to hear from the sheriff. But I'm fortunate enough to come in and sit on the show, and this is the first time I've been on the show. So thanks so much for having me this morning.
Oh, no problem. Welcome to the show.
Yes, sir. It's always a great Friday to engage with our community, and that's kind of the things that I get to do. I'm in community relations. I'm a neighborhood specialist here, and so in my quiet time, when I get an opportunity to think a lot, I think about neighborhoods, and I think about the lifespan of neighborhoods and how neighborhoods can be better and what they need. Those types of things, from things as mundane as speeding to things that are more serious. We get a chance to interact with those people in the neighborhoods and in our community. And I probably have the greatest job in Pensacola, Florida, to be honest with you. And I'm sure it's good to be the sheriff, but it's great to be Ronnie Rivera too. And so it's a fun time here at the sheriff's office always. But what's going on with you? Yeah, yes, sir.
Before you get into your spiel, I want to know, tell the folks exactly what's the neighborhood special? What is your job at the sheriff department? I know you relate to the community, so talk to me about what you do.
So it's just that, just like I say, it's an opportunity to engage with the community and neighborhoods in particular. I spend some of my time at neighborhood watch events. I go there. I listen to concerns. Every neighborhood watch or every neighborhood is unique in and of itself here in Escambia County. We obviously have a lot of neighborhoods from the southern part of the county to the northern part of the county, from Century down to Perdido Key, and everybody has their own needs and wants, and I get a chance to listen to those and address those. I kind of jokingly tell people that I try to solve problems that cannot be solved in 3 minutes or less by a deputy's call for service, and it's somewhat, poking fun, but our men and women that are answering calls for service are able to get there, triage the situation, make some determinations pretty quickly, and then move on to the next case. Sometimes that case may need some more thought or some more investigation and other partners to the table. I work very closely with the county itself. Obviously, you saw that I had an opportunity to work with the commissioner there. And I talk with code enforcement, animal control, other county and state agencies that sometimes we can't do something about, but we can partner with somebody to do something about. And that's what's most important for people in Escambia County. They want to make sure that their law enforcement agency is showing up the best possible way. And sometimes it takes more than just one call for service.
Yeah, very good.
It is a complex job, but it's also a very easy job and a very simple job. Just sometimes it really just takes us getting out there and listening to the community and finding out what their needs are. Because again, all communities are very different. I had the pleasure about a week and a half ago. I was at the Wedgewood Neighborhood Watch Group, and they had some very specific concerns and wanted to make sure that they were heard and they were addressed. And that's what we do, and that's what we constantly do as neighborhood specialists. My partner is Delarian Wiggins, and he helps me out in this pursuit. And it's a great time. I was at Coffee with a Cop yesterday. We had a coffee with a cop up at Lucky Goat on Davis. And so I'm pretty much all over the place most of the time. And of course, I go wherever the sheriff tells me to go. Fair enough.
Are you involved with helping communities set up neighborhood watch programs and so forth?
I do not do the neighborhood watch setups. That is somebody else that does that here at the agency, but I often attend them. And to be honest with you, we don't do a lot of setting up of those. That is something that's really done by the neighborhood itself. And we certainly, if they need some help understanding some of the things, some of the parameters, we do those types of things. But the setting up really is a neighborhood. And to be honest with you, it should be, because what you don't need is you don't need local government down in your neighborhood telling you what you need. And so you as a neighborhood should be able to come together and say, hey, I need this in my neighborhood, whether it's speeding. And we talk a little bit about speeding, but the truth of the matter is that neighborhoods need lighting. They need good sidewalks. They need good parks. They need places where people can congregate and to know their neighbor. I think it's very important that we know our neighbors. And that's kind of a lost art form today because of social media. And we've kind of been getting away from that since probably the 80s, maybe even the 70s. And I just think it's a great opportunity to, you want to be a good neighbor, then know your neighbor kind of deal. So that's just me.
Absolutely. I look at these crazy cop TV shows, and I'm trying to think of the one right about the neighbors. I call it the neighbors killing neighbors shows. You know how people don't get along. I know y'all run into stuff like that often, and I hear that even not only situations like that, but domestic violence situations are probably one of the most dangerous situations that an officer can call on. And I just read just the other day about, I don't know what it was in this community, but they had a call for mental health distress, and it ended up with a fatal results as an officer shooting. Tell the community when situations occurs like that, when they happen, particularly with a mental health issue, what can they do on the call to 911 and the sheriff to help officers understand that it might be a mental health crisis as opposed to maybe a robbery or something? How can we interact with that?
Yeah, yes, sir. I appreciate that question. When Sheriff Simmons came to office, he was big on a couple of things. One was enforcement and engagement. And so how does that engagement portion look? And part of that engagement portion is the mental health part of that, right? And Sheriff Simmons was very quick to put in a mental health unit here at the agency. We're one of only 2 in the state of Florida. And we certainly have one here. But when you call and you call our dispatch, our 911 number, make sure that you accurately tell the dispatch person on the phone what's going on at the situation. And a lot of times it's hard, right? Because you're kind of in this throw for help. You need help, and so you're calling 911, and oftentimes your senses are heightened and alerted, but you got to be calm and you got to tell our dispatch exactly what's going on and what you want, and answer those questions. And it can sometimes be frustrating, I hear, but certainly be accurate, so we can dispatch the proper persons out to help, whether that be just our call or make sure we get that mental health out there to you, because it is important, like you say, very important.
I know you and Delarian work real hard in the community to try to keep things safe. How can the community help you? I know sometimes we have drug houses and different kinds of things going on in the community, but sometimes people don't want to get involved, and sometimes they say snitches get stitches, and sometimes they don't want to cooperate with the law enforcement officer. What can you do to ease that concern, and at the same time trying to protect the person, that the law-abiding citizen just trying to report incidents without them being exposed, if you will?
Yeah, and Crime Stoppers is great, and I don't have the number right in front of me, but always call Crime. I think it's 433 STOP. Crime Stoppers is a great opportunity to save your anonymity and certainly get a cash reward sometimes in that. But I think it's important for communities and neighborhoods to know that we're here to help. We're not here to harm, and trust is a big factor. And part of part of, again, what I do in community relations is to try to help build that trust between neighborhoods and communities and the men and women that serve our agency. For the most part, every single day, you should feel completely safe in your neighborhood. And if there's a problem, feel free to call. And if you need to have that anonymity, call that Crime Stoppers line, and we will certainly be there to assist you in any way, shape, or form that you need.
All right. Now, you're available upon demand, upon request to come out and speak to the communities. Am I correct?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
If you've got an event or you've got a neighborhood watch or something, feel free to contact our scheduling office here, and I will come out and speak with you guys and talk with you more about neighborhood relations and community relations and how we can be better partners with each other. That is my end goal here, is to make sure that we are great partners to the communities we serve. And I always tell neighborhoods and neighborhood watches, I wish you could see the men and women that serve you through my lens, because you would know how pure their hearts are in the service that they give to these neighborhoods. Sheriff Simmons is very particular about courtesy, integrity, and professionalism, and we live that every day here at the sheriff's office. Okay.
Now, obviously, you do your job well, because I understand that you was awarded in 2025 as being the Great Neighborhood Award. Can you talk to us about that? I look at trying to be shy about it. Look at you.
Vernon, I'll tell you, it is an honor. I did receive this year the Civicon Great Neighborhood Award because of the work that I do. And like I told them in the speech, and I mean this to be true, I was really just picking up the award for the men and women that serve across our county every single day. And that, not just us here at the sheriff's office, but the county. I have the ability to work, like I said, with county staff very closely. We have monthly meetings where we talk about, hot spots or areas that are just not great, need some extra attention. Maybe some neighborhoods need some extra attention. But that award, it does mean a lot to me personally, but it was really just a marker in time for the men and women that serve throughout our community. I'm very thankful for being able to pick up that award, but it is underscored by the service that everybody else does, for sure. It's a team effort. Right. Yes, sir.
I also understand that you're the chairman of the Escambia County Sheriff's Office Neighborhood Task Force.
Yes, sir.
What is that?
So that is the working group that we talk about. We meet monthly. This includes animal control. This includes people from the state. So state agencies are involved. Of course, the work that I do is very closely linked to the work that code enforcement does. I'm a firm believer that if your yard is picked up and your house looks presentable, then you're probably going to have less crime in your neighborhood. There's a theory out there called broken windows theory. And when I was growing up, I grew up a little bit poor. And my mom always used to say, "Hey, we can be poor, but we can't be dirty." And so that was kind of part of it growing up. And so I think that it's important for yards to be clean. I think it's important for street lights. I work very closely with Florida Power and Light, and we work very closely with Florida Power and Light. And it is very important for these neighborhoods to understand you got to have some clean yards, you got to have some lights out, and hopefully some sidewalks out there so kids can return to play and feel safe in a neighborhood where they're growing up at.
All right. Well, I want to congratulate you on the accolades and doing an extremely good job for the Escambia County Sheriff Department. I'm sure the sheriff is really proud of you.
Vernon, I'll tell you, I am very thankful to be in this position, but all of this is because of a vision of Sheriff Simmons. And really, I have a platform here because the sheriff has given me an opportunity to make these neighborhoods great. He believes that these neighborhoods can be great, and he believes that there are people there that need to give service where service is due. And so I'm simply just, a piece in this bigger machine that we call the sheriff's office. And I'm very thankful that he has had this vision of enforcement engagement like we've never seen before, truly.
Yeah, I tell the sheriff all the time, I've been in this community more than 50 years.
Yes, sir.
I have not seen the good relationships that the sheriff department is sharing with our community. And so my hats, I always tell them about that. I'm really proud of that because we don't always have the black community and law enforcement don't always enjoy a great relationship, but we do under Chip Simmons, and I thank him for that.
Yeah, the sheriff is very committed to making sure that everybody's voice is heard and every need that can be met is being met. And he used to, when I first got with the sheriff, he used to tell me, he said, someday somebody may beat us, but they'll never outwork us. And I truly believe that the work ethic of this particular sheriff is amazing. When I tell you that he is 7 days a week engaging in our community, and he has built a team around him of like-minded individuals that want to make sure that these neighborhoods and this community is uplifted, it's amazing. He's got a couple of chiefs in place. Currently, his chief of staff, Whitney Lucas, is she's amazing. We got her probably in her prime. If you were looking at a sports star, we probably got her in her prime, and she is a very smart individual, and we couldn't be moving in a better direction than we are currently under this current administration.
He kind of reminds me, Ronnie, there's a commercial one of these lawyers got on TV. I see it all the time. He's talking about how busy he is, and they ask him how busy he's supposed to be. He said he cloned himself. So sometimes I wonder, do Sheriff Chip Simmons have clones? Because everywhere, even on the weekends, everywhere, in all the community events, I'm talking about events in my community. And imagine in other communities, he's involved too. So
it's amazing to see his work
Bernie.
Yeah. To see his work ethic is amazing. I was telling somebody recently, I want to say it was in 24. I don't think I had a day off in 7 months, and that includes those Saturday and Sundays. And I can tell you, I don't know that he's had many days off since he's been elected. But he was very committed to his process of becoming the sheriff, and he knows that no matter what the case is, we're holding this for a limited time. These things are not forever, and so we have to make sure that we put things in place that when we're gone, someday the community can be better off than when we found it. And he continues to amaze me every day. I was with him at an event last evening, and it was almost as if it was the very first day he took office. I mean, he is so committed and excited to work with communities and to listen to concerns and needs and then try to solve those. It's not just about the listening portion. It's about how do we solve them. And he has got a training unit here that is probably the best in the state of Florida. He's just created an academy for his deputies that are coming in, and he's very serious about the things, whether it be technology. He has put some things in place. I remember on day one, he went and got body cameras, and it wasn't because we were doing something wrong or anybody was doing something wrong, but we wanted a record. We wanted to make sure that people knew we're doing a great job and we want to brag on you. So let's see what's on those cameras. And that was day one. That was in the first 5 days of his very first year in office. And we continue to set the bar high and to try to achieve and reach those goals every single day. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, another thing to his testament, he sharing not only his works, but he bring folks on. He let you come on. He let the chief deputy come on. He let everybody know what else is going on. He don't try to hog the spotlight just for himself. So that's a great thing because we need to know what our sheriff department is doing.
He is, and we kind of somewhat joke around the office that he is, he's a coach. So he coached youth sports for a number of years and was the winningest coach at NEP. He tells people that all the time. That's something he is proud of, and he should be. But he is a coach of good talent. He's an acquirer of talent, and he has got some talent around him. I will tell you, Vernon, I was working with kids that were incarcerated when he and I got together. And I was providing jobs for those kids. I was providing mentorship for those kids. And I was just finishing graduate school. And he said, do you want to come on to work at the sheriff's office and work in communities? He said, I know you have a heart for it. He said, that's where you're best suited and best fitted. And I said, yes, sir, no problem. And so he sees the talent that you have, and he puts it to the best possible use for our community. Like very few elected officials I've ever seen, or anybody as far as that, whether it go in the business world or the private sector or whatever. But he is a talent. He's an acquisition of talent. He puts people where they need to be. Like you said, the chief's in the right spot. So we're moving along every day. We're trying to help people and serve where we can. We often get the very first call for service. So we service about 300,000 calls for service a year here at Escambia County Sheriff's Office. And oftentimes it's your first call for help. And sometimes we have to direct them in the right way. And sometimes it's not a law enforcement function, but we're here to help regardless.
Ronnie,
yes,
thank
sir.
you. We appreciate it. We know more about what you do in the other parts of the Sheriff's Department. Is there anything else you want to share with us?
Man, I hope to come back on the show again and spend some more time with you. I hope this is my first one. I hope this is not my last one. And so we look forward to spending some more time with you in the very future. Are you going to be at Mardi Gras this weekend?
No, I got other things I got to do, but I love to be at Mardi Gras. But
yes, sir.
I'm like Sheriff Chip Simmons. I got other fish I got to fry. I don't have a lot of spare time to have fun.
Yes, sir. Well, be safe nevertheless, and we will see you very soon, hopefully. Fair enough?
All right. Well, you got an open invitation. If you need to get something out to the community, just hit me up, and I'll make sure you get some airtime to put it out, okay?
Yes, sir. Have a blessed weekend. Y'all be safe.
All right. Thank you, y'all.
Yes, sir.
That is Ronnie Rivera. He's the neighborhood specialist for the Escambia County Sheriff Office, sitting in this morning for Sheriff Chip Simmons, y'all. All right. Only got about 3 or 4 more minutes here. But before we go, I wanted to get to our Black History segment because I don't want to miss that because it's Black History Month, and I do want you to know a little bit about Black history. You know, we talked about a lot of things in Black history. We talked about yesterday Booker T. Washington. We talked about W.E. Du Bois. We talked about the Tuskegee experiment and other things. I want to talk to you this morning about the massacres that Jerry and I talked about yesterday throughout our community. And one of the most famous ones was the Tulsa Massacre. We're going to call it the Tulsa Massacre, okay? Whereas a first time in the history of the United States, they actually used airplane to bomb a Black community and burned it to the ground. It's so unfortunate. So, continuing our series on 2 minutes in Black history, I want to share that with you this morning. So stay tuned.
In the early 1900s, an oil boom in Oklahoma made Tulsa a real estate magnet. Unwelcome in the city's downtown, enterprising Black entrepreneurs built up the neighborhood of Greenwood into a booming community. Sadly, the Negro Wall Street, as it was called then, would become the casualty of fraught race relations.
In May of 1921, a young Black man entered an elevator where a young white woman was the elevator operator. They were in the elevator alone, and someone heard her scream. He was accused of accosting her.
The young man was arrested and taken to the courthouse for holding. When Black Tulsans in Greenwood heard that a lynch mob of white people was gathering at the courthouse, they headed there to defend the young man. In the middle of a tense standoff, a single gunshot rang out. The residents of Greenwood retreated, but that didn't end the tension. The next day, thousands of white people descended, looting Greenwood's businesses and setting fire to homes. Black residents fought back. The National Guard arrived, imposed martial law, then arrested nearly half of Greenwood's population.
This became known as the Tulsa Race Riot, one of the most violent race riots in our nation's history.
The young man was released from the courthouse after the riots ended. The charges against him were dropped when the elevator operator failed to appear at court. Shockingly, nearly 80 years would pass before an official report would be commissioned. The report found that more than 1,200 homes had been burned, and it estimated that up to 300 people had been killed, the overwhelming majority Black. Recently, a typewritten eyewitness account of the riot, donated to the Smithsonian, described airplanes dropping firebombs from the sky, black people being gunned down in the streets, and it posed the question, is the city in conspiracy with the mob? Those who survived faced homelessness and the daunting task of attempting to rebuild in a city that didn't want Greenwood and all that it symbolized. Slowly, Greenwood's residents recovered, though the Black Wall Street never returned to its glory days, and memories of the violence continue to haunt descendants even to this day. A full century later, some are still searching for the dead.
All right, y'all. I can tell you this. You need to know your Black history or repeat it, y'all. That was my Black History moment for today, Friday the 13th, our lucky day today. I want to wish everybody a great, super weekend, y'all. I really do. So, y'all, take it easy. Have a great weekend. Go to the Mardi Gras. Have fun. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day. Go buy those big Valentine gifts and those big diamond rings for your woman or your wife. In some cases, fellas, for your wife and your woman. Yep. If you can live Monday to tell about it, I sure like to hear that story. All right, y'all. All right, y'all. I love you. We'll see you on Monday. All right. So I'm going to leave out of here just to give you the weather report for the weekend with Miss Cheryl Moraine. And we'll see you on Monday, y'all.
Hi, Vernon. We're wrapping up the week on a bright note. Friday brings a few passing clouds, but overall, we're looking at generally sunny skies with a high of 72 degrees. Tonight will cool down to 52. Now let's talk about Valentine's Day Saturday. Mostly cloudy conditions are expected with a daytime high of 69 degrees and a low of 61. There's just a 20% chance of rain, so most outdoor dinner plans should be just fine. Just keep an umbrella nearby just in case. Sunday turns a bit more active. We're holding steady with a high of 69 and a low of 55, but thunderstorms are expected. And looking ahead to Monday morning, the commute features mostly cloudy skies with highs reaching around 68 degrees. Not a washout, but a gray start to the work week. Enjoy the sunshine while you can and have a wonderful Valentine's weekend. This is Cheryl Moraine with your weekend weather on WBQP TV.
It's time for Mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For Mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it out.
Start your day with Mornings with Vernon on WBQP.